These IEMs interest me because I listen to quite a bit of rock music, and it will be great to have some IEMs that are specifically tuned to listen for rock music that I could take with me on the go to listen to my favorite rock music playlist. And special thanks to Apos Audio for sending these IEMs out to me. So let me unbox them and tell you more about these from Apos. So it looks like everything's enclosed in this small plastic Ziploc bag. So you get a nice little card that tells you how to use your Rock Lobsters. And here is the back of the manual card. And let's take a look at what's included. So Apos Audio opted for silicone tips for the Rock Lobster. These type of ear tips worked out best for their target tuning, which is rock music. And they do provide you with small, medium, and large ear tips, so you can find the right size for your ears. And here are the Rock Lobster IEMs with the included black audio cable. It also includes a nice Velcro tie to keep your audio cable organized. So before we get into the build quality, I'd like to talk about the specs of these IEMs. This particular Rock Lobster IEM comes with a 3.5mm audio connector cable, but if you order directly from Apos Audio, you can select a 4.4mm cable termination instead. However, what I recommend that you do if you are going to pick up the Rock Lobster is go to Apos Audio's website and pick up the option that provides you with both a 3.5mm and a 4.4mm cable for only $10 more as of the making of this video. You can also opt to get a bundle with a leather clamshell carrying case for only $39 more. So there is potential for savings there. You can also buy these on Amazon. However, you only have the option to get them with the 3.5mm termination. But I'll go ahead and leave both affiliate links down in the description below. So take a look if you guys are interested in picking these up for yourself. Now let's talk about the driver on the Rock Lobster IEM. It has a single 10mm LCP dynamic driver. LCP stands for liquid crystal polymer. This type of driver has a high stiffness to weight ratio, allowing the diaphragm to move very quickly without flexing or deforming, which produces a cleaner, more accurate sound, especially in the high frequencies. It also produces a very tight and fast sound, as this type of driver can start and stop almost instantly. This type of driver typically provides for a smooth, detailed treble and natural mid-range without any sharp peaks. So let's take a quick look at the frequency response chart for the Rock Lobster so you get an idea of what it will sound like. In this frequency response graph, we definitely see a bump in the bass. So you're gonna get the nice bass that works very well with rock music. And then you get a rather smooth line through the mid-range. And finally, you do get some elevation in the treble around 2K, as well as a peak at around 9K. Now, the great thing about these IEMs is that they have a very low impedance of only 32 ohms and a high sensitivity of 105 dB. So what does this mean for people like you and me? It means that these IEMs are gonna be super easy to drive. You won't need to connect them to a portable DAC amp, for example, to make these loud enough to enjoy. You simply connect them directly to your smartphone, or you can use a standard 3.5mm Apple dongle, and that will be all you need to get it to enjoyable music listening levels. Now, the socket type for these IEMs where the audio cable connects to the IEM is your standard 0.78mm 2-pin design. So if you wanted to swap audio cables, you totally could. All right, now that we talked about the specs, let's take a look at the build quality and design. The housing of the IEMs look to be made out of a red plastic resin, and it has this very nice looking black lobster tail faceplate that looks really cool when you're wearing it, but doesn't bring a lot of attention as it's rather muted compared to the red lobster body of the IEMs. As far as the nozzle of the IEM, it looks quite thin compared to some of the other IEMs I've tried. So if you have problems where the nozzle is too thick and it bothers your ear, I think these shouldn't give you any problems at all. Also, these IEMs are super light, which means you're not gonna really feel them on your ears, which is great. So there's also less of a chance of them falling out of your ears, again, because they don't have that weight. So for me, the medium silicone tip worked very well. It provided a nice, good seal, as well as isolation. It did a good job of keeping these sounds from the outside out. The ear tips fit very well in my ear. They felt just right in terms of the amount of pressure. I didn't feel much pressure at all, but again, it did provide a good seal. And here they are in my ears. As you guys can see, it's a very good fit. They don't stand out a lot because you have that muted black lobster tail shell faceplate, but you do see a hint of that red lobster color. But overall, I think they look great. I love the design of them. Now, taking a look at the cable, it's very flexible. It's just the perfect length. You get some nice strain relief at the audio connector, and the plastic around the ear hooks feels good and does a good job of keeping the IEMs in place. It's at the same time producing some strain relief at the audio cable connector on the IEM side. Yeah, and overall, this audio cable is one of the better audio cables I have come across for a budget IEM. It works really great, and you don't hear any of those microphonics that you do with other audio cables, you know, when they're rustling across your shirt and so on. So yeah, I really like this audio cable that comes included with Rock Lobster. So now that we've taken a look at the Rock Lobster, I'm gonna go ahead and take a listen to them and give you guys my sound impression of them. One really cool thing that Apos did is that they created a Rock Lobster playlist that really showcases the abilities of the Rock Lobster. So I'm definitely gonna take a listen to that and let you know my thoughts. So far, after taking a quick listen to them on my iPhone, just using the Apple dongle, they sound very promising. So I'll be right back with my sound review of the Apos Audio Rock Lobster. Okay, so on to how the Rock Lobster sounds. For $60, it's pretty good. It's not perfect and it has its issues, but I must admit that for rock music, it performs well. Now, there are some things that I wish it had, but I'll get into that as we talk about how these IEMs sound. First off, I would like to say that these IEMs fall in the fun category. So these are perfect to wear if, let's say, you want to listen to some music while you clean your house or go for a jog and are not really paying attention to the little details in the music. So I definitely wouldn't recommend these for analytical listening, for example, where you're looking for the most minute details in the music. That being said, let's talk about how the sound frequencies perform when it came to everything from the bass to the treble. For my sound review testing, I did my initial testing using the standard Apple USB-C to 3.5mm dongle, which was connected to my iPhone. It was great to see that you don't need any additional amplification, as the Rock Lobster was more than loud enough using the Apple dongle. I also tried the iFi GoldLink Max portable DAC dongle, which iFi sent to me, to try it out, and that did change up the sound quite a bit, so stay tuned for that later in this video. So let's get into it. This IEM has a good amount of sub bass. The mid bass is pretty good, and these IEMs definitely have a bump in that region, but I wish it had a little bit more punch to it. I found the bass to be well controlled. As for the mid range, I think the lower mids is where these IEMs really shine. Things like male vocals and guitars sound great, which makes it no wonder why these are great for rock music. Upper mids is where there is less energy, so you don't get as much clarity and presence there. As for treble, the Rock Lobster performs well in the lower treble, but it doesn't have much air in the upper treble, making these IEMs sound a bit claustrophobic. Soundstage is very intimate, giving you the feeling of the music being played in a very small venue. Even though these have a small soundstage, the imaging on these IEMs was excellent. Listening to Ramble On by Led Zeppelin on these IEMs was a great experience, as you can pinpoint where all the instruments are being played from within the soundstage. Because of the type of driver used in these IEMs, they had a very fast attack and decay, meaning the music notes came in quick and they didn't stick around too long, so definitely a fast sounding IEM here. My overall thoughts using the Apple dongle with the Rock Lobster is that for $60, it sounded pretty good. Not perfect by any means, but again, provided a fun listening experience. I think overall it sounded a bit flat in some frequencies. Like I wish it had more punch in that mid bass, and I wish they had more air in the upper treble to make these IEMs not sound so closed off. But now let's talk about how the iFi GoldLink Max improved the sound of the Rock Lobster. The first thing I noticed is that the iFi GoldLink Max really did a great job at opening up the sound, especially in the upper treble. It really added a lot more air, and that claustrophobic feeling went away when I was listening to my music. This especially stood out with the song Rock Lobster by B-52s. Before, just with the Apple dongle, the song sounded really closed off with not much air in the treble. One thing that the iFi GoldLink Max also did is it brought the music to life. Things that sounded really flat and relaxed now had much more energy, and I really started to enjoy the music much more when I started using the iFi GoldLink Max.